Ladies and gentlemen, Samiel Asghedom.
Man, everybody here already knows Nip, man, and through the music, personally, I swear to God, everything he said in the music was who he was, and it's not too much I can't tell you about him, man. I just hope that he knows we all proud of him, and we all know the music. If I die today, I know the set proud, nigga. And that's how Nip thought, he loved everybody, and he loved who he grew up with, where he grew up, and just wanted to inspire and always bring something back and make, it wasn't about how some people think, handouts and giving. When we was growing up, we just admired the people in the community that was hustling and had, because we grew up kind of had not, so they didn't have to give us anything. They inspired and showed us a way, and we molded ourselves after the positive people that wasn't on drugs, that wasn't alcoholics, the hustlers basically. And so they didn't have to really even say anything to us. They demonstrated with action. And Nip, that's what Nip was about. Nip was about demonstrating and coming back that people could walk up, touch, see, and he appreciated, whether he said it or not, the pats on the back, and it meant a lot to him. Bro, keep doing your thing, man. We appreciate what you're doing. You making it look good. You putting us on the map. That shit meant a lot to him, and that shit meant a lot to me from everybody who did that. And like you said, if I die today, I made the set proud, nigga. You made the world proud. Look at this shit, bro. This shit, the whole family appreciates everything, and my grandma, she loved him to death, and he loved her to death, and I know she was already proud, but she can't even believe the news and the people calling and just the love that the people feel about bro. Is one thing that I know he's happy about also. Just the family understanding what he meant to everybody else is very big. I don't want to be long-winded, man. I just maybe I'll tell you some things maybe you didn't know about Nip, man. Us growing up, he came home. I think I was already 3 when he came home. So, I got whooped a couple times when I'm in the room and my mom came in and he's crying. I got whooped. So, that was my little bro, man, and I just tried to do as much as I could to lead a good example and make sure that he was good, I hope I loved him and I was proud of him, and I know he loved me, man, and many a times, growing up. Remember the first time I got into it, we was fighting all the time, but the first time I got into a fight and got knocked out, Man, it was on 60th, and I got knocked unconscious. And as I'm waking up, you know, Nip, younger than me, is pushing the guy, fighting him down the block. You know, I jump back up and run up, but you know, I just knew, you know, I always knew, but I said, all right, you know, bro held it down when I was out, so for sure, you know. And he was like that at all times, man, just growing up. You know, we had a little crew on 60th Street, and we would try to hustle up money, water lawns, shovel the neighbors' dog shit in the back, wash cars, for whatever we could get. And we'd work hard all day, and it seemed Nip would just put in 10 minutes and come back with 200-300, and we couldn't believe the shit. We like, man, I've been working 12 hours for $15 and you can hit the block with 200. You know, he always had a scheme. He was always so intelligent and charismatic. And as you can see in the pictures and the slideshows, man, he always had a bright smile on his face. And, you know, he walked in the room and he was he took over the room. He took control of the room and just positive. You know, people came to him since a young age. Even when we first had this first shop, Los Angeles Crenshaw, me and Fats and Nip, you know, Adam, we used to always say, soon as Nip pull up, you know, we didn't want all the homies hanging out in the front. You know, soon as Nip pull up, he's there for 10 seconds. I don't know, phone calls is being made, the whole hood is there. It's 100 niggas in the front, 20 guns, and, you know, we just knew that about Nip, man. He just, he attracted people. People were attracted to Nip, and you know, he always was positive. And I think he just inspired a lot of people, man. So that's one of the things. I got so many stories, man. Nip built our first computer. My grandfather really bought our first computer. We ended up breaking it, throwing it away. And then as we got older, when we wanted a computer, Nip would come home from school with a backpack full of computer parts. And we shared a room, and you know, we shared bunk beds. You know, I was a little older, OCD. I used to, you know, hey, we cleaning up today. He would get pissed off. Like, you ain't going nowhere, you helping me clean the room. And he brought these computer parts, and I'm like, man, we can't keep these in this room. He like, nah, I'm gonna build a computer. I'm like, man, if you don't get out of here, man. He's like 12 years old. I'm like, man, a computer back then to me was like rocket scientist. I'm like, there's no way, get this shit out of here. And he came back the next day with another piece of a computer. Came back, it took him about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and we just had all computer parts, loose parts on the floor. And he went to a computer auction and bought a case and bought a power supply. And I came home one day, he had the magazine that my grandfather had bought, computer magazines, and he had the computer and it was working, and he turned it on, and I could not believe this. He had built the computer and it was working. And, you know, at that point I was just amazed, and you know, I really was mind-boggled. I just, you know, I was proud of him, and my mom, everybody, we couldn't believe it. And people in the family were coming over and was so astonished that his IQ, or just that he was able to do something like this. Later on, a couple years later, he ended up getting software and being able to record music on that computer. And I remember coming and hearing something that he recorded at a young age, and I couldn't believe that. I was amazed once again. I had to pull him to the side. I said, bro, did you write this? And he said, yeah. And man, it was so complex and something that amazed me again. You know, I came home the next day, I started writing. I said, shit, if bro did it, shit, let me see. Man, I must have wrote for 2 weeks, and I threw all that away. I said, okay, it skipped me. You know, this is a real story, so I told him from there, you're special, you know, just whatever I can do, you know, we believe in moving fast forward. And as he became, you know, a teenager, 16, 17, 18, you know, I'm seeing the route, and I try to do as much as I could to, you know, keep him out of the front line and keep him out of the streets and out of the gangbanging as much as I could, like, nah, you know, but, you know, it really was nothing I could do. And only thing that, while I'm trying to get money and hustling, I was in my head like, only thing we may be able to do is help get this music career going, because I felt that was the only avenue and that was the only thing he wanted to move toward. And I remember one of my goals was just anything I could do to help finance or help match him with or put my head together with, you know, that was going to be one of my goals. So to see where he took it and just trying to make something legit for him to have, he ended up actually making something legit for me to have, and for us to have something legit, something inspirational to attach ourselves to, you know, and not have to be doing something illegal, or just to see the things that he did, the music, the people that he inspired, us having the shop, people coming from all over the world, man. It's I said, tell him it's mind-boggling, man. It's like the Field of Dreams, you know. He built something and the people are coming, paying homage like a Mecca. They coming from all over the world, all over the country, and you know, it's something so special. And you know, I was talking to him, and we were so heartbroken that Fats wasn't around to see the album come out. So I just couldn't understand how, after all this, bro, go out like this, man. It just really don't make sense. Really don't make sense. And you know, it changed everything I thought I understood. You know, it got to be something past this, man, for bro to go out like that. But you know, last thing I'm gonna say is, you know, I'm proud of bro. You know, he always looked out and always wanted other people to go. You know, it wasn't just about him getting there. You know, he'd been fly since a young age. You know, it wasn't about that. It was about bringing it back and inspiring and building. And he had so many plans, and he had so many people that he wanted to involve in his plans. And it was getting there, you know. We bought the lot, man, but I don't know how we did it, you know. And that was a big thing for bro, man, because he used to sell CDs out the trunk, you know. He used to be in that parking lot, and they used to try to kick him out of the lot. And y'all know what we went through with the police in that lot. And I don't know if anybody knows, we had got a 30-day notice. And they was kicking us out of all the businesses that we own in the lot. And the owner was like, man, I'm so sorry. The district attorney and the police, they putting pressure on us. They said we could lose this property if we don't kick you guys out the lot. I remember this used to be a vacant lot, and people used to be scared to rent the lot. You guys came here, you changed it. People are pulling up. Every lot is rented. And at this point, if you guys still are interested in buying a lot, you know, rather than kick you guys out, we're willing to sell it to you. So at this point, man, you know, we was all broke. Nip had money invested everywhere, and we shook hands and said we do want to buy the lot. We didn't know how we was gonna do it, honestly. And Nip went on a scramble. I went on a scramble, tapped in with JP, the whole team, and I honestly don't know how we did it, But we was able to close and get the lot, and Nip was so proud of that and so happy of that accomplishment. You know, I don't drink, man, but I went ahead and took a shot with bro for that, man, you know. That and when the album came out, just even the Victory Lap album coming out, man, Nip said he was gonna do it. And that was so important for his debut album to finally really come out. And, you know, I'm just so happy that the album was able to come out and he was able to do what he said he was gonna do. You know, a lot of people thought coming up and when he first got signed, he was gonna get some money and leave. You know, like he said, they didn't have a fucking clue. You know what I mean? They had no clue what he really was gonna do. And come on. I want everybody to know, man, Nip put his heart and soul on Crenshaw and Slauson. And we used to talk, you know, we gotta go. We don't know if we're gonna go at 80, 60, 30, or 20. But the one thing is to make sure when you go the right way. You stand up for what you believe in. You put your money where your mouth is. You never fold. You never let the pressure sway you from doing what you want to do. You never let anything, the politics, stop you from coming around and staying around. And I hope everybody knows that that's what bro did. Bro stayed and he died on Crenshaw and Slauson. And everybody who showed love, even the ones who didn't, Nip had nothing but love and respect and humbleness. And that's what I want to leave, man. I love him. And I hope I didn't leave anything out, man.
Please welcome Lauren London.